Namaskar, I'm Kumar Rakesh and you're watching Global Governance News TV. Today we're going to discuss the politics of viruses and vaccines in global society related to the corona viruses and the corona vaccines. At present, if you see, there are eight and more than 10 type of vaccines we have just in India. If you see like that, then I can tell you Covishield, Sputnik V, Johnson and Johnson, Covivix, Covaxin, Pfizer, Zydus Cadila, Covovax. Two new vaccines all already given the permission. In spite of the all facts, what we have, the new variant Omicron is just a number is growing day by day. Today, one death already in Delhi. In Bharat, more than 500 cases reported. And but this condition situation of US and Britain is not good. Every day, 1 lakh cases is coming reported, and most affect the Delta viruses. So, and globally, if you see the Germany, in the condition of France, if you see the Spain situation is not good globally. And how the new the variation of viruses and new vaccines. So, how will free from these vaccines and viruses? Is it possible or not? What is the impact of I think this is the vaccine that if you see the 20th century development, licensing, implementation of vaccine as part of the large systematic immunization program, it started to address the health inequities existed globally. However, that if you see that access to vaccine that prevent life-threatening infectious diseases remains unequal to all infants, children, adults, the world. Recently, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced by 3rd January, 15 to 18 years will be the get vaccine. And 60 plus will get the booster now. If you see the Israel, the fourth dose is already given. Third dose is already come in the US and other developing and developed countries. Booster dose is already started. How just cope with this? If you see the report of WHO, they are only just trying to analyze the impact of the new variants in the COVID-19 to the vaccines. If you see the report of WHO, the report says the COVID-19 vaccines are currently in development or having approved are expected to provide at least some protection against new virus variants because these vaccines elicit a broad immune response involving a range of antibodies and cells. Therefore, changes or mutations in the virus should not make vaccine completely ineffective. In the event that any of these vaccines prove to less effective against one or more variants, it will be possible to change the composition of the vaccine to protect against these variants. And data continues to be collected, analyzed on new variants on the COVID-19 virus. WHO is working with researchers, health officials, scientists to understand how these variants affect the virus behavior and including the impact of the effectiveness of vaccine, if any, and how the WHO is trying to analyze the and thus give the report to the public that is also not satisfactory according to my view. And while going to whatever they claimed, and also they claim WHO has been tracking the mutations and variants since the start of COVID-19 outbreak. And the WHO says the global SARS-CoV-2 laboratory network includes a dedicated virus evolution working group which aims to detect new changes quickly and assesses their possible impact. Research groups have carried out the genomic sequencing of COVID-19 virus and shared these sequences on public databases, including GISAID. The global collaboration allows scientists to better track how the virus is changing. WHO recommend that all countries increase the sequencing of the COVID-19 viruses, which where possible, share data to help one another monitor and respond to the evolving pandemic. So these are detailed reports we have. So we have to go to discuss how this is going to impact, how they're playing the politics in the name of the data, and the vaccine and viruses. We have Dr. Vinikansu,
Mm.
a very well-known doctor in the country and India, and Dr. Rajesh Sharma, also surgeon and doctor in the Bharat, and
Mm.
Vandana Jinganji, senior journalist and social activist from Chicago, USA. Let's start from Dr. Vinny Kantru. How just you analyze the all situation now, how the Omicron is going on, Delhi is on yellow alert, and now cinema hall and spa already closed, and uh, same rules has coming back to us. So how just to analyze how to cope with the situations?
Yes, thank you for calling me here tonight. Definitely, the situation is not really good if we compare it to what it was a few weeks ago. We do have increasing numbers of COVID 19, and the positivity rate is higher than what it was previously. So, a part of it can be explained by the fact that everything is open now and people have not been following COVID appropriate behavior. That is quite evident in the videos which we see also. People don't maintain distance, they're not wearing masks, which is really bad. Even if there is a variant which has come up, which is till now not showing any kind of severe disease or critical disease, but we have to follow the cases in future. Still, we have to follow COVID appropriate behavior because these variants can be easily prevented by wearing mask. So yes, the positivity rate has increased in Delhi. One fact is that in winters, respiratory viruses do increase in this season. But yes, because of opening up of cinema halls, crowded places, markets are open, the malls are open. There is festive season around. People are trying to come out of the houses and celebrate a lot of festivals. And New Year is a time, usually also when people
Yeah.
do come to their home, people come from outside to meet their relatives. So unfortunately, the situation for last 1.5 to 2 years has been pressing on all fronts, including our mental health. But we have to follow COVID appropriate behavior if we want to get rid of this kind of virus, which has really polluted all over the world. So I urge everybody through your medium that we should follow COVID appropriate behavior. There are some good reports from LNJP Hospital, where the respected MS has said that whichever patients were admitted there with Omicron, a lot of them have been discharged. And usually they were having milder kind of disease. But yes, we need to follow this new variant very closely. And on the other front, it is really heartening to see that vaccination is in children and adolescents has started in our country also. And also this precautionary dose or the third dose, which is to be given for people who were vaccinated the first, which means those who were more than 60 years of age with comorbidities, and healthcare workers would receive their third doses, which will boost up the immunity to fight better with these kind of variants which are going to come in future also.
Okay, so I just my just how is it? I'll take the brief note from the Vandanaji, and then after that I'll take the Rajesh Sharma.
Mm.
Vandanaji, just how just see the situation in the USA, and just you have all taken the booster doses, and all the most the public has not taken the single doses
Yeah.
itself now.
Yeah, 40% of people have not been vaccinated, and that is very sad, to be very honest. But now we are seeing in different states that they are taking up a policy when you are getting into the government buildings that you need to have the vaccines, and otherwise your entry, and they are doing it even in the restaurants. Like we have to have the proof of vaccinations. I have got my booster shot in the month of November because the 6 months I got Pfizer, me along with my family. And actually, I always say, as an individual, as the spokesperson, I must say that from the various different organizations, that my vaccination is your safety and your mask is my safety. Now, because we will see what will be the impact, numbers are going high here also, which is very means tragic. The people, those who have been got two shots but not the booster, they are also getting positive. And I spoke to somebody very close to me, known a community person, and he said situation like he's feeling the symptoms that he said I've lost all my voice, and it is very difficult for me to breathe also. So it's not easy, it is not gone. We have to make sure, as an individual, as doctor was saying, this is not over, because our moral responsibility, Kumar Rakeshji, is very, very important and crucial. Parties will happen if we are alive, because this is a holiday
Yeah,
time. I'm just
that's
seeing it. I
important.
see videos of India also. I'm seeing it here. I have every day an invite of 6 to 7 events, to be very honest, from a media. And I have already wished everybody, I wish you virtually 2022, and we'll see how things are. And then we'll meet in person, because people may like it, may not like it, but that is not because my going, it's not about like I have got booster. Oh, we are all vaccinated, but we don't know who's carrying what. And again, the travel is still on, which needs to be checked into, because economies can revive no matter what, but life gone
Life will
cannot
be
come
there.
back.
If life will
Thank
be
you.
there. Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you. So nice of you, Vandana ji. Just taking no issue. So just Dr. Rajesh Sharma, how just you analyze the situation? How just Vandana ji said, if you see in Israel, fourth doses has been just going, 4 doses. We have also not the crossed third doses. I think we have started lately on 10th of January of this year, and but now this is India first country. Bharat is 141 doses has already given, and more than 61% population has been vaccinated. In spite of that, the new variant is just knocking the door. How just to
Uh,
cope with, fight it?
Good evening, everybody. Actually, what we are seeing in India, yeah, all over is Omicron is being projected as if it is something a new disease, but in fact, it is just a variant of the original Wuhan virus. What we knew, it is not even a mutant of Delta. It is originally it has mutated so many times. Virus are in a habit of playing hide and seek with the disease and people, and it changes its mutation is the characteristic of any virus. We know, everybody knows. There would have been Omicron or no Omicron, but since beginning the for fighting with the pandemic, three things were only important. First was wearing mask, then keeping social distance, and when we had got the so many vaccines, it was our just we were it was our target to vaccinate as many much population, so that people develop herd immunity or immunity, so that we can stop the transmission. So even if there was no Omicron was there, this is was the course to fight with the this pandemic. So, in fact, this announcement of our Prime Minister for booster doses has taken place, and at the very appropriate time. Actually, the situation in India and in USA are different. In USA, Pfizer and Moderna vaccines were given. It was proved that they carry immunity for after 6 months of the second last dose. The immunity was falling very sharply for Pfizer and Moderna. So it was appropriate to start giving booster in USA after 6 months of the whole vaccination. But Covishield is said to be carrying at least about for a year, and it is a right time to start the again the circle of taking giving boosters, like starting from this, above 60 and frontline workers and all that. It is a right time, no doubt, and definitely it is also a very good decision to reduce the age from 15 to 18. Soon it should be 12 to 18, and even younger children also should get. So many vaccines are coming up with the experiments and researches for giving boost vaccine to the children, right? First to come with the trial with the children was
Yeah.
Zydus Cadila vaccine. It came with first their research regarding the vaccine to the children. So, though now at present Covaxin is going to be Covaxin and Covishield are the only main vaccine in India, though many other variations are also available. Like Novavax. Novavax is a unique vaccine that it will be given as a spray in the nasal cavity. The
Yeah.
difference of Omicron and other earlier viruses are that Omicron is supposedly just multiplies in the respiratory tract. It doesn't reaches the lung, and that's why supposedly it is still now it is not causing serious or fatal illness. But because it is multiplying more in the respiratory tract, it is more transmissible. Yeah, the transmissibility is very high, but definitely till now we know about Omicron that it is not that serious or fatality is not there. Only one fatality in UK was reported a few days back, and I have not heard about any serious such. This is a good sign that even if pandemic has to go, it may go in this way only. Now, if the virulence of the virus gets low, gradually it may become endemic in the population, and this may be the way of how pandemic will pass off.
Okay. So
Huh.
just we'll discuss about the impact and then how just the dose is. The After 6 months or 8 months, what is the effect and impact of the all vaccines? Just going to vary it now. So we also discuss on the point how is it effective for the 6 month or 8 month. After that, we will have to take the vaccine or not, and how the government is doing on the for the 60s and 15 to 18 and all situation as just comparative to UK, USA, and other countries. Just time a break. Welcome after break. Dr. Vinny, I just started discussing Dr. Rajesh and Bandana ji says, do you think now our life is not without vaccine? What is the effect and impact of the vaccine? This is only for the just valid and effective for the 6 month or 8 month or 10 months, whatever varies to vaccine and company to company. One. Number two, how just you analyze the situation globally, how the persons and concerned political parties are playing on the vaccines and the viruses. As just Dr. Rajesh said, also I personally also said the one virus. This is already. But now the WHO and other agencies are giving mum on. They already, I think, they immunized themselves. How many times will repeat the one virus? Already known to everybody. And now how is the globally affected with this viruses? We are more vaccines also. That's on this
Right.
respect of the vaccine and viruses, how we can balance our lives. That is very important. Please.
Definitely so. So, if you ask me about viruses, they have been a game changer in COVID-19 disease. Because
Yeah.
what we saw in Delta wave also, those who were unvaccinated at that point in time, because the vaccination was opened in a phased manner in our country, the younger population which was not vaccinated at that point were having severe kind of presentation, and we did have so much of critical disease taking the life of younger, relatively younger patients also. So we have clearly seen this in hospital data. Those patients who come to us after being vaccinated after 2 doses, they fare very well as compared to people who are generally unvaccinated. So even if the immunity wanes off, waning off means that the immunity decreases in its intensity, but it doesn't mean that it just vanishes out from your body. So you have some kind of immunity still left against these kind of variants also, or the new kinds of variants which will come in future also. If you are vaccinated with 2 doses, you are prevented against the severe disease or the critical disease, or the mortality goes down. So this is without any doubt, And this has been proven time and again with any and every kind of vaccine which we have presently available in India as well as abroad. So, if you ask about the efficacy of prevention of disease, it varies between 70 to 80 to 90% between the different platforms. But the ability to prevent severe critical disease or the death is 100% in most of the vaccines which we use. Or it could be any platform which is based on mRNA, which is based on spike protein, which is tweaked into an adenovirus, or maybe the Covaxin, which is a whole virion vaccine. So severity is got down. However, if you ask me how we are going to live with vaccines, we have had vaccines previously also, and we have been able to eradicate diseases due to the presence of and availability of these vaccines. For example, smallpox, for example, polio, we have been able to eradicate this disease altogether from our country. So vaccines are going to be the future of medicine, actually, because prevention is always better than cure. So, if you
Okay.
are able to prevent the disease with the help of these vaccines, they need to be tweaked maybe every year, like we do for the flu vaccines. Now, the tweaking also needs some time because the scientists need some time to isolate the new variants, to work on them, and accordingly alter the structure of the vaccines and offer you something which could be next 3 to 4 months. This includes the Hyderabad-based, Bharat Biotech nasal vaccines, which could be a game changer actually. So, if you have a nasal vaccine which is preventing the replication of the virus right where it divides, which is the nasal cavity and the respiratory tract, so it could actually prevent the transmission also, in addition to prevention of disease in you. So these are some things which are going to stay here. Vaccines are the future of medicine and they are really important. Now, as far as the politics of vaccines and viruses is concerned, it's a very complex topic. I may not be able to answer it very well, but definitely, when we ask that, WHO, they took about 8 months for recognizing Covaxin, and as compared to Novavax, which they just gave the go ahead in a matter of days to weeks. So there you have some doubts that some kind of politics is happening, whether it is at the micro level, it is at the macro level, where from this virus in fact came in the first place, and how there has been so much of mutations which happens so quickly, which is unlikely. 6 to 8 weeks to 3 months is the time which the virus is taking to get mutated. This has not been seen previously in science. So there are some loopholes or certain kind of doubtful situations where you are bound to think the wrong way. But I may not be able to tell you in a better manner because politics is something which we don't follow more often.
But they already stated just how just WHO took the time to more than 2 or 3 and 4 months just to give the authorization and just already the certificate for the Covaxin, what is the only vaccine made in India, already given to the more than 97 countries, the free of cost in the name of humanity. India is the only country, Bharat is only country in the world that should be appreciated by the all, and many countries also appreciate it. So that's why if anybody linger on without any reason or whatever they're trying to create the issues and problem before Bharat, we should take the note of that. And as well as just you just said it, the one thing important, Dr. Rajesh, only we're talking about the vaccine, but no any medicine. This is the first time in the history of humanity and the world. The I think virus and vaccines are going together. If the viruses are there, vaccines already made the top priority. But by the development of the latest, I think, modern science and the modern uh, new researches, one. How does you see the polio after the all country has given that the last stage of the phases of the Bharat, India. So now we are the number one in the world when how the Covaxin made and the other two, four or three follows just already made in India. made in Bharat. So one thing, Dr. Rajesh, I think you will able to answer the politicization of the virus and I think and vaccine. One, number two, why not any country, including Bharat, has made the medicine actually, whatever, just to cure these type of viruses. Number three, whatever cases in Omicron is coming out, I talked to the many doctors. They are saying this is a form of flu, not that. But the flu has been going to declare as the Omicron type viruses, but not exactly Omicron. Why it is going to happen, and how this impact on the global society as well the Bharat.
Yeah, Rakesh. Actually, Dr. Vini has rightly said that for any disease, the first stage is prevention. So, vaccine is the preventive medicine. It doesn't allow the disease to catch to the person. And if somehow the disease gets into the person, then the therapeutic medicine or treatment is there is a role of the therapeutic medicine. So, and so many there are a lot of antibiotics are there, like they are effective against bacteria, but there are very less number of antiviral medicine available, and they are also not very specific. Now since beginning, so many antivirals which were effective against other viruses were being tried, and but some by trial and error. Now Pfizer has come with medicine, and other few pharmaceuticals also. They are saying that it will be very much effective, about 100% to prevent hospitalization and all that. We have not been able to know about it effectivity against this or new variant, but definitely medicines are coming. They are before any curative medicine, definitely preventive medicine in the form of vaccines. First idea is to fight this pandemic, is to prevent the disease, because disease is very serious. So better to not to get the disease. So definitely the curative medicine is the second stage of treatment. First we have to prevent the disease, and then we think of curing it. And so many researches are going on. Many medicines have come up also to claiming that they will be very much effective against this virus. But definitely there is no specific against COVID. Now, regarding politics of vaccine, we have seen that in UK,
And viruses
Covishield.
also, not vaccine. Which
Yeah,
is
viruses also since beginning.
yeah.
Actually, we have not still we are not sure. Even China is not allowing to the team investigative team to investigate from where this virus
And
actually
also
originated.
the 90 days report by declared by Mr.
Yeah,
Biden, the
yeah,
president of
yeah,
US, also is
yes,
not in the just nobody is talking about that.
yes,
Where is the 90 days report and what is declared by the president
yes,
US? Yeah.
yes. And regarding this Omicron virus, is also started from South Africa, because the South Africa was the zone where the least number of population was vaccinated. Though definitely it started growing there, and it later on it spread to the whole world. So politics is there also in our country. When Modi ji exported some vaccines to other countries, our own opposition, they started shouting that our children's vaccines are being sent to other countries, these kind of propaganda. But there was no vaccine for children was there at time. So we are fighting a pandemic. It is a global disease. So unless each and every country gets rid of the disease, one country cannot be get free from the disease. So
Yeah.
everybody will have to think in the terms of eradicating the disease from each and every country, and all countries, rich or poor, and all everybody has to think of helping out other countries which are not being able to develop their own vaccines. Now, a country like Cuba, I heard that they have developed a vaccine which they were giving to their children, above two, above the age of two.
Yeah.
Cuba developed that kind of vaccine. So we are proud that our country, there are so many researches are going on. We are the one of the leader in the production of vaccine. So it is our prerogative to think of other countries which are not deprived of their own vaccine, and we should think in the terms of global this eradication and vaccination the same time in our own country. So
Okay.
like that, politics was that Covishield. Covishield was originally being came from UK, and Boris Johnson, he banned people who had
That
Covishield
was that time
vaccination.
the politics was there. So Kobe
Yeah,
Shield
yeah,
was just originated from UK and they're playing the
UK.
politics.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, yeah.
nobody will enter after the Kobe Shield and the Covaxin holder
Yeah,
certificate
the
holder.
Indian Covishield, they considered it to be something inferior or whatsoever. They didn't allow till the strong action was taken from the similar action was taken in India. Then only they allowed. So definitely politics are is there. If Modi ji would have delayed the vaccination, this booster announcement of booster, this same opposition would have told that he is not allowing to this booster plan to and if now again I think is after some time somebody may say that so many population is still not vaccinated, and this booster has been started. So it is very difficult to satisfy them and stop their politics. They have to oppose somehow, and they will oppose in any way. But
Okay.
I think this is the appropriate time when this plan has been executed at the right time when the booster dose is being started in India, and at the same time the vaccination of children. But
Okay.
definitely,
So nicely, just you just elaborated. And just recently, the in Bharat, Punjab government has just declared the all the surcharges and fine who will not take the both doses, and as well as Chandigarh administration also declare 500 rupees fine who will not take the single dose and otherwise. So this is a system I think going to adopt by the every country, every cities. Otherwise, people will not vaccinated themselves, but they are just declare whatever they are. Just Vandana ji rejoined the program. Vandana, you were talking about the vaccine. After that, I'll take the small answer to both of you doctors about the comparative study of the allopathy and the Ayus, how just to define it, just to counter the COVID and all. So, Vandana ji, we're talking about the politics of the vaccine and viruses. Now, how the China played the game, and now just you can give the answer when the president elected Biden elected after that they had declared 90 days report of the how the for the China how the viruses came. What happened? The report one and how that's going on now.
Leadership has to be very strong, to be very honest. We do know that our ex-president, President Trump, that day, it was like, found out that, and he started calling it the Chinese virus. Because this was not a politics, to be honest. Because it was a origin, so you are calling it by name. Because why you are putting the labels made in China when you are sending any product? So you should have made this also available to people that COVID-19 made in China. Why they were like a lot of politics about like a lot of people, those who are leftist minded, they had objection, oh, we should not label it from a country's origin. Why not? Then stop putting name. This VCR has been made in China. This television is made in China, and the technology, whatever, like any product that you buy, you will see on the labels that it is made. So it should have been also labeled made in China. Coming back to the question of yours, because Modi and I would like to congratulate actually the first phase India handled it so very well, and the second phase within the nation, the politics within India is very very sorry in the state of mind to say, but these people, those who are speaking out, the women, first they said there was one leader from I think the Red Topi party. He said, oh, this will make us impotent, and he must have taken because everyone has been somewhat somewhere got affected. We are not going to take the Indian vaccine. And this has been more strong, they are saying, on the Omicron. But I urge each and every one individual, because this should be beyond the politics. This there should not be any politics, should be we should respect our sciences, it has taken such a short span of time to produce the vaccines. Let this work together, those who don't have it, because if we will not, because even United States were hesitant earlier, when we, the people of diaspora, we said no, it is the responsibility, because when America needed it, hydrochlorine and all, India gave it without even thinking twice, like how. And when Bharat ko zarurat tha, so everyone, like, because if you see that they cannot afford it, but as the travel industry, earlier it used to be not spread that wide the way now the things are. And this pandemic, they are going to saying that it will become endemic after 2024, so it will be a regular thing. We are getting prepared, because all these variants, people have to, it is not yet over. Because somebody just mentioned it to me that if you go buy a dress in India, the woman's dress, they have a matching mask also, because the mask is like, actually you're not spreading it to someone. So
Yeah.
I just going to conclude with this: there should not be any politics onto that, and from a responsibility of a citizen, it is, as and when it is available to me, first we must make sure that those who are more vulnerable, they should get it. And they said why the production was slowed, because the shelf life of vaccines are limit, means like there is a span of life, so that's why they have halted it. So I think it should come into production as the people have been, and India has done phenomenal job, we really all salute. And the word is saluting, we should ignore all the leaders, those who are in opposition, their job is to oppose only. We salute, and we pray to God. I'm just sitting right now in a temple, and I pray to God, let this be over so we can see a beautiful world, a pandemic free 2020 to everybody.
So nice of you, Bandanaji. Just I'll take the both of the doctors, and a very typical question, but a very brief. Actually, we're running out of time. How just as a, both are allopathy doctor. So in Bharat, this is the Ministry of Ayush has just declared, and last our ex of Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan had declared the Giloy Long and just Tulsi is so effective to fight the corona. And whatever Ayush Kadha Kwath is very effective. So how do you analyze the things? Do you think the allopathy of this Ayushpathy is more effective than allopathy to fight the coronaviruses? Very brief answer. I'm not going to detail.
Uh, I would like to say that,
Rajesh, please.
uh, actually, like whatever you mentioned, Giloy, Tulsi, and all those herbs
Ashwagandha.
and everything,
Giloy Tulsiana.
ashwagandha,
Giloy
ashwagandha.
Long and Ashwagandha, three he declared, and the other way, just yeah, with the experimented aims, has earlier, I think
They,
you must have read
they,
the
they,
paper.
yeah, they have been known since very long that they boost up our immunity. So definitely they are very good medicines or products which will to boost our immunity so that we may not acquire COVID or any kind of disease, any disease. It will boost up our immunity. But definitely we cannot depend upon those medicines or uh, herbs that taking those things and we get a false sense of security that now it can be prevented. For prevention, the vaccine is the only thing which will work, because one thing I would like to say, Rakesh, actually this is not allopathy, what I mean to say. This is modern scientific medicine, what we practice. Our science and medicine is every science is based upon lot of
Okay,
researches and everything.
I got it. But I think just to try this out. Vinny is
Uh,
smiling now. Dr. Vinny, how just what your inputs?
Well, it's a very difficult question. If you ask me, the Ayurveda works, mostly the process is slower. COVID doesn't give you so much of time if a
That's
patient
fine.
goes into a severe disease. So, when a person is having severe disease, when they are on oxygen, they need something which acts very quickly. So, these medicines might be able to control your symptoms, they might be able to give you a symptomatic relief, but to cure it or to get you out of the critical situation, the allopathic medicines are really important. For example, steroids, we have seen, has saved lives. And now the Paxlovid, which is the new medication which the FDA has already approved in America. This is the medication which needs to be given within 5 days of onset of symptoms to prevent you from going into the severe kind of disease. And the efficacy is known to be to the tune of 90% in the studies which have been seen till now, as compared to molnupiravir, which is already available in India, which is 30% efficacy to prevent severe disease or hospitalization. So these are the newer kind of medicines which might be able to cure COVID-19, which we have not been able to do till now. So steroids, as far as critical disease is concerned, have been lifesavers, but
Yeah,
definitely Ayush
that is
medicine will
important.
help.
Just you are right. You are
Yeah.
right. Yeah. So actually, the quick just action required just to control the disease and then control the life. So nice of you how just you elaborated the things. I think we hope. Micron and whatever viruses should not attack to the India and should not go then a large number in Bharat and any part of the world just to be controlled. As Vandana you said, we should just need the pandemic free world. I hope so. I think new researchers may make the new medicines in place of vaccine. So just take the medicine and you can control our this I can say so-called disease, but many lives has gone. So hope for the best and pray God just to save us this type of variants, whatever called the China virus and Wuhan virus. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Jai Hind.
Preview.